So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
The First Lady of New York Radio, Joan Hamburg. Entertaining and informative. Talk Radio 77 WABC.
A real treat today. The star of a new opera, The Hours, Renée Fleming, one of the great sopranos in the world. I'm absolutely a groupie, is my guest. And this opera, if you haven't seen it yet, you are saying, I know this. Well, it is based on a film and a novel, and the novel is based on a book, Mrs. Dalloway, the Virginia Woolf book, but it's quite incredible. And Renée Fleming is one of the amazing stars in this. So you probably are tired at this point. You've been working really a lot and hard.
Yes. But it's been so exhilarating to be involved in something this fresh that is sold out. Audiences love it, are responding to it, and it's just been wonderfully successful.
And I'm just curious, Renée, how did all this come about? Was this your doing? Did someone approach you?
Well, I had been working with the composer on a piece, a setting of George O'Keeffe's letters it's been really successful. And he said, how about an opera? And I said, yes, absolutely. And so we were talking about titles and just exchanging ideas. And somebody said in my office suggested on a list The Hours. And I said, oh, that's it. That's definitely it. I don't know. I love the movie. I assume you did too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and the book, Michael Cunningham's Pulitzer Prize-winning book, I said, this is perfect for opera.
And people are loving the opera. When there must have been a promo running through the station, because I got 2 calls this morning saying, oh my gosh, we saw this. It's fresh. It's unbelievable. It was such a treat. And
good. Oh, I'm glad. It's like theater. It's more going to the theater, with gorgeous music and so many chorus and orchestra and singers and dancers. It's big, but it's very modern.
No, and it's got so much going on. And I'm just curious, who determined who's going to play what role? Are you playing the role that you want to play?
I am. Yeah, I am. And so Kevin wrote it for each of us. So he was able to compose exactly to our voices, which was wonderful. And I wanted to play Clarissa Vaughn because I just thought it would be so great for once in my career to play somebody who's from my time, basically. This takes place in the 90s. I still have clothes from the 90s.
Yeah, believe me, I have clothes from before that. I used to have a closet which had size 8 and then size 12. And people would say, why don't you throw out the size 8? I'd say, are you crazy? I could probably wear them again in a month.
Exactly. I'm with you. I keep 3 different sizes,
Right.
I just know. When people say you look great, you've lost weight, I always say it will pass.
That's a good line. I may borrow it.
Yeah, yes.
Because it's something we all need. But you took a couple of years off from the Met. And was that an interesting time in your life, or did you miss it a lot?
Well, I mean, first of all, 2 of those years, was the pandemic. So nobody was singing. Nobody was working, other than digitally. Yeah, and I did digital work for the Met, too. And then I picked up touring again, and I've been working like crazy ever since. So I think people imagine that if you sing opera, you only sing at the Met and you only sing, opera. But I mostly sing concerts with orchestras around the world.
And that's exciting, and you've been doing that too. for a long time. And the hours is so interesting. The complicated day in the life of three complicated women.
Right. And three, the high anxiety situations, tragic situations, and the other characters are fascinating. The person that I most love has AIDS, which is heartbreaking to revisit, especially now when we're just still we haven't gotten rid of this pandemic. Yeah.
No, it is awful. But to be able to be in something new that can relate to you and to all people in that range, it brings it home. It's so real.
Right. And
and
opera can tell there are three periods. There's Virginia Woolf's life, there's a 50s housewife in Laura Brown, and then there's Clarissa Vaughan, who's kind of remade right directly out of Mrs. Dalloway and the book. And so they're all living lives at the same time on the operatic stage, which is something we can do because the music enables us to do that.
Right. And your character was, I remember in the film, it was a Meryl Streep role.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, not the shoes you really want to fill or try to fill.
No, exactly.
But, singing is so different. It's really not the same at all. We don't have control over the tempo or the pitch or any of those things. It's quite a different animal.
So when you were approached about this, it had to be really a relief, because how often does an opera star, a soprano, get to play a very modern person and a woman that we all know and can relate to?
Right. Well, the other major premiere I did was Blanche Dubois in A Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah, and so that.
It's just wonderful to do something that no one else has done. You're not being compared with centuries of other performances.
No. And when you think about your journey, it's really an amazing story. How it started, how you never gave up, and you also ended up doing firsts that had not been done before. So for those of us, it's very exciting, and it's changed the way many of us look at music, look at opera, and look at the chances that you've taken during your career.
I mean, just singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. I mean, that's not something I would have expected to be doing, and that was incredible.
Did that make you nervous, or was
110 million people tuning in, and it's live. I was terrified, but you just have to keep practicing and practicing, because a lot can go wrong in the national anthem, honestly.
You mean in terms of the lyrics and everything?
It's hard, yeah, and it's also very rangy. This is why it's hard for the audience to sing too. So,
but special, and it makes a difference.
Definitely, yes.
And I remember, because I have friends who live in Aspen, right around the corner from the music festival, when you were a kid and spending a lot of time there with a lot of other talented people, but you were doing unbelievable things then.
Well, now I run the opera department there with my colleague Patrick Summers, so I'm now helping young singers on their track,
which is great. And even when you were at Juilliard, you were singing in jazz clubs, and that wasn't the usual. But you went ahead and did it, and it helped get you through Juilliard.
I always have loved singing jazz, and I still am a fan, and I listen, and I go hear my friends play.
Has Juilliard, you think, and you're so involved, changed a lot since you were a grad student there?
I don't think so. I think it's still, they're devoted to producing the best quality artists that they can in all of these different disciplines. So the environment is a little bit more challenging, especially now after we have to encourage people to go out to their theaters and their concert halls and even the movie theaters and just get out of the comfort of the home and try to, even if you're wearing a mask, support these arts organizations, Broadway, all of it.
No, I agree. And it's at a very delicate time in the world of the arts. And,
yes.
Whether you go to the Met or you go to see a Broadway show, there's still angst, and it's really important. Put your mask on and go, because this is the heart and soul of our cultural life and our life in this city, and we have to have it, and we have to all support it.
It's true, and if we don't support it, it will go away, and that would be tragic also for the tourism of the city. So that's my 2 cents. Because honestly, I'm going almost every night to see something, and loving it. And if I see anybody with sniffles or anybody who coughs, I immediately put my mask on.
Yeah, and I'm just sorry that they took away the mask rule, because I think it's not the answer, but it definitely is a step in helping avoid some of these things. So,
makes people feel more
secure,
at ease. Yeah.
Put your mask on and then go. And you can get tickets for things. Go out of your comfort zone, as Renee said. Go see things. Maybe you haven't been to the Met in years. None of us have done anything in over 2 years. So it's time to step out and go do things that you've never done before. So you started in doing small concerts and things. And then when you won the opera audition, you were 29, and it all started. Was that what you would consider, when you look back, the major break?
It was the first major break. Absolutely. There were a few others, but that was definitely the first one, because it kind of opened the door to me performing in opera houses. And once you get one engagement and it goes well, you have to take a risk and then succeed. You really have to kind of put yourself in a position where you can exceed when somebody gives you a chance.
Yeah, and you did take chances, and you did things like the Seattle Opera. I mean, people think, oh, it's all New York, but it isn't all New York. It's all over America. Right.
It's true. That was so, and frankly, I've been singing now for truthfully, a number of decades, and so I've had a long recording career and won 4 Grammys, and just all of this experience helps support you in the other things you like to do, because I'm extremely passionate about the intersection of arts and health. I think the arts should be embedded in our healthcare system from bottom to top.
But you've talked about that a lot, and many of us find that really fascinating. What sort of awakened your interest and your attention to this collaboration between music and art and health?
I started reading that researchers were studying music to understand neuroscience and the brain, and I found that surprising and fabulous. And so I met Dr. Francis Collins, who was running the NIH at the time, at a dinner party, and I had just started as consultant to the Kennedy Center in Washington, and said, 2 great national institutions, can we collaborate? Because I think we could provide a platform for science. And I think our audience would love to know why they like music and what effect it has on the brain. And so that's what we've been doing.
And the research held up that there really was solid information behind it.
Yes, absolutely. Really wonderful. I feel very fortunate to be fascinated and stimulated and working at this intersection. I've just handed in a long book of an anthology that talks about from different researchers and healthcare providers and artists, all kind of sharing the breadth of the work at this intersection.
It's unbelievable when you said that you were not going to do what many of us considered traditional parts. And that was when, in 2017. Would you have imagined that all that happened after that? All the things that you have done and taken chances on me. We were thinking maybe you'd retire, and here we are.
No. Yes, absolutely. No, that was, I'm too young to retire. I've got some more years to go.
You've got a lot of years.
Yeah. Have to keep, my husband keeps threatening to, I said, no, you can't retire if I'm not retiring. I don't want you to be mad at me for not being home.
Well, that's the thing. I remember when I was married so many years ago, I said to him, I'm not going to be a milk and cookies wife. So this is it. You can pay attention or be disappointed. Your choice.
Right. I love it. Milk and cookies. Yes.
Which, it's hard.
I'm going to take that line. That's a good line.
Yeah, but it's true because it's different. But you look at the wonderful girls you brought up, and
right.
How are those beautiful
girls? One is getting married. One is getting married in about 10 days. Yeah. Very exciting.
Is she being married here in New York or where?
Yep, downtown, yes.
Oh
so happy for her.
That's hard to believe.
And her younger sister just got engaged, so we're going to have 2 weddings.
Kidding.
Yes.
That's
so
a lot. You better sing a lot of opera.
I know. Trust
2
me.
2 weddings can break the bank.
Yes. I knew this was going to happen. Been saving the pennies. Yeah.
Well, that's really great. Are guys that they're marrying in the arts?
Yes, one is a film composer, but the other does software engineering, but he's still a terrific musician as well.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm very excited
for you.
Great
talking to you, Joan. Yes.
And all the best. The hours you've all got to see at the Met. It's an absolute treat and a thrill. And we'll talk again very
I recommend
soon.
the HD. It's in the movie theaters on Saturday.
I
recommend.
Love that.
HD, yes. It's metropolitanopera.org. Hopefully you can find your local theater.
That was a brilliant idea when they started this. And
I agree.
It makes it so accessible. It's a gift. All
it
right,
really
my
does.
dear. All the best
Thank
to
you,
you.
Joan.
Congratulations to the girls. We'll talk soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. I'm Joan Hamburg, and you're listening to WABC, and that was one of the greatest sopranos in the world, the one and only Renée Fleming. More ahead.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.